Hello, I'm Loprov, and this is my first ever Ask Me Anything session. Before we begin, I figured the video might be a bit long for some, so I included time markers for those who want to scrub through the video to parts that may be more relevant to your interests. And here comes the disclaimer. Due to the nature of some of these questions that I do intend to answer, this video is not safe for work. If you are under the age of 18, you should not be watching this. If you do intend to continue despite the warning, however, I will not be responsible for you. Go watch YouTube Kids or something. Anyway, I certainly wasn't expecting to be sitting on over 70 questions right now, so I figured the best way to answer as many as I can would be to present it in this manner. Also, I combined some similar sounding questions together and will do my best to get to each and every one of you. But if I didn't answer your question in this video, just send it in again and I may do another AMA sometime in the future, or I may write you a reply instead. Speaking of writing, allow me to introduce you the sponsors for this video, The Novel Encounter. If you're looking to surprise yourself or someone with a special gift, The Novel Encounter delivers that experience through the founder's debut novel, This Life Electric, as well as critically acclaimed book titles wrapped in mystery. And for those looking for a unique gift, just pass the resident word wizard 3 words and he will weave them into a typewritten poem just for you. It's actually a lot cooler to see him do this on the spot. And for those looking for something different with practicality in mind, do check out our next sponsor, Interstellar Goods. Best reviewed and community recommended Kickstarter products developed by innovative creators around the world, curated by the good people behind Interstellar Goods to ensure that you receive nothing but quality products. If you still can't decide on what to get, you can always go with the mystery gift option on your store. Okay, so let's get to the questions. So this question comes from Vince. What's your advice on people who want to produce music with live elements but have a noisy recording environment? Now, this is a general question that I get very often, so I will share with you a couple of general tips to look out for here and there. But let's say if you're facing something specific, let me know in the messages and I will do my best to get back to you based on what you're facing, and then we'll troubleshoot from there, alright? So some general tips to look out for, believe it or not, is always to address the source of noise. That's for the sake of keeping our solutions to the problems as simple as possible. We want to spend the least amount of time troubleshooting all these things. Then let's say if it's some kind of a source that we have absolutely no control over, for example, traffic, crowds, maybe a fan that doesn't have a remote or on-off switch for I don't know why. Those are actually a thing. We had cases like that before. So the point is, there are things that are out of our control. We try to work around them instead based on the next few examples I could share with you. On a related note, trial and error with technology. For instance, NVIDIA Broadcast. This is something that came out in recent years and I was very intrigued by the way of how you could use GPU to basically do active noise cancellation. And I want to know about your results because I don't use this often enough. So let me know in the comment section below, how is it working out for you? Is it working great? Is it terrible? Let me know your experience. I want to hear all about it. So anyway, for microphone users like singers or voiceovers, there are general purpose solutions such as the microphone isolation box. Some would call it a microphone foam box. Well, either or is the same thing. DIY versions can be budget friendly or good for people who want to build their own stuff. Or you want something more presentable, you can get the ready-made ones, and the prices will vary according to where you live. And for this next point, get to know your equipment and usage techniques. We're talking about things like microphone distance, gain staging, microphones with low self-noise or known as noise floor. Are you using shock mounts, pop filters? Are you using a balanced microphone cable, XLR, TRS? Is the type of microphone you have suitable for its intended use? For example, is it a hypercardioid, omnidirectional, etc., things like that. Then there's for the instrument users, for example, what type of setup are you working with? If it's a guitar, is it microphone or pickups? Because in simple terms, microphones will capture sounds that are audible to the ear, basically everything around it. But pickups only detect vibrations of the strings within the magnetic field and converts that into sound. Then there's other factors such as direct inject or commonly known as DI boxes. Last but not least, always explore and develop solutions that works best for your case. It's not stupid if it works. And just because something's the best in the market does not necessarily mean it's best for your case. We're talking about budget-wise, we're talking about usability-wise, things like that. So the most important thing of all is to go do your research on how many ways can you address the problem that you're facing. I had a fair number of people asking me questions that are very similar sounding, so I'm just going to show a couple of examples that I've received and I'm going to answer them at one go to the best I can. So I'm going to give you a while to read them. Okay, I'm gonna answer that now. 4 tips to keep in mind. I have 4 fingers. Get to know your audience, music, mentality, and soft skills. For starters, talk to the people around you. Get to know their music preferences. While you're there, explore options on balancing between what you and the crowd would like to hear. This helps a lot with expanding your music knowledge and improve your crowd reading ability over time when you do live performances. Then we talk a bit about your music. Do you want to be a specialist or a generalist in music? Which one will you be? Are you open-minded enough to try your hand on all kinds of music out there, or do you intend to dedicate yourself to a selected number of genres only? Because this, among many factors, will influence your path and opportunities as a DJ among other aspects such as your performance style, music selection, and mixing techniques. Then, your mentality. Never stop learning, never stop trying, never stop exploring. Do your homework and update yourself regularly on the past, present, and future trends. A DJ isn't just someone who plays music and just walks off the stage, but someone who can educate as well. It's healthy to have a competitive mindset, but always keep things friendly. Work your way up and turn your idols into friends. Lastly, soft skills. Some of the examples I could give would be the ability to adapt to situations flexibly, critical thinking that can help you avoid potential problems, be it technical or otherwise, planning music ahead on the fly, building a connection with your audience. It has to be a two-way thing. And this one is for the first-time performers. It's okay to be scared and make mistakes on a live set. Even professionals do that. But be more afraid of not giving your performance the very best that you've got, because keep in mind that there are no do-overs once you step off that stage, so play it like it's your last set ever, regardless if it's for 5 or 5,000 people. Any advice for people who are trying to figure out their first career move in life? Now, a few things. Before I continue, I just want to say this is my personal take, alright? Different people have different opinions, so this is mine. The first step in deciding on a career is to always ask yourself, will the opportunities you find out there help you build yourself for that dream job that you always wanted? While there are many ways to go about deciding on what to do, and many people have vastly different ways to approach this topic, one of the moves I find that's a great start for anyone is to really take your time and think of a practical plan that allows you to grow not just professionally, but personally as well. Again, talk to people around you, learn from their experiences, develop your skill sets and knowledge. And throw away your fears about failing. It's not the failures we face that defines who we will become, but rather how we deal with them. While it's natural to fear what we do not understand, don't ever let it deprive you of asking questions that will help you improve. Learn to forgive yourself for not having an experience in your first few steps. Even the best in the world had to start from scratch somewhere, you know? In my personal opinion, in whatever career path you choose for yourself, your mentality determines your actions, and your actions will determine your results. Always think ahead. Do you have any advice for people struggling with haters? Now, I struggled with hate messages like these for a while, and it's been a wild trip even now. Some made logical sense where we agreed to disagree, others were just plain messed up to read. Haters will forever find reasons to hate other people, sometimes over things that you have that they don't, sometimes out of their own insecurities, but either way, they thrive on negative attention for whatever reasons that they may have. The one thing to do is to simply not respond, no matter how hateful it is. People can spend hours writing paragraphs on what they hate about you, and frankly, that's still just their opinion. If you're in a situation where you are forced to give a response, however, be sure to engage only if you are calm and collected enough to come up with a rational reply. Don't give these people reason to take your word out of context and beat you with it. Importantly, if you receive threats to your personal safety, contact the authorities immediately. So this came from DJ Atomica. Do you listen to or play songs that aren't part of your aesthetic? Yes, I do. I explore music all the time. Maybe on some days I'll take a short break to rest my ears, but for the most part, yes, I do. I go from anywhere between ambient chill music that you hear in spas all the way up to death metal, speedcore, and beyond. And yes, occasionally I would put them into some of my performances every now and then. And yeah, pretty much. In your music remix, which part of the music is the most hate to play? If I get your question wrong, please feel free to ask again, and I will try my best to answer them. I would say if there's a part I would hate, it's gotta be the most overplayed kind of music that you hear in virtually every club. Let me give you an example. So this is about 4 years ago. I was in a club circuit mostly, and there was one night I was actually going out to the convenience store nearby to buy some dinner. Then what happened was I was walking past several clubs and they were all playing the same song, just at different timings, but you will know that it's the exact same bootleg, the same song, and it's happening concurrently in several different clubs. And those are the kind of music I try to avoid, the overplayed ones, you know? Okay, so this came from Frisky. If I got your name wrong, I'm very sorry. Please do correct me and teach me how to pronounce your name right, all right? The question is, do you do lyrics video like kinetic typography? Yes, I do. Used to. Then half the reason being I'm lazy and the other half being that I hate After Effects, but yeah, that's where I used to do all my kinetic typography. It's not difficult, it's just very time consuming for the most part. So this came from Kazuki. Now that you've experienced your first furry VR DJ events, what are your goals you intend to achieve someday? I personally did not set any goals when I was brought into the VR partying scene. So for the most part, I would say I'm just, well, go with the flow and just have a good time with everyone. I guess that's the most important thing to me right now. And if that had to be a goal, then hey, objective complete. If it isn't your full-time job already, would DJing full-time be your dream job, or would it be something else? I would say I had it. I had the dream job of becoming a full-time DJ, and when COVID happened, that was just ripped out from my hands. And you know, ever since then, it was just mostly doing it for fun. But if there was an opportunity in the future that I could do this full-time again, sure, why not, you know? Have you played in clubs or festivals before? Short answer, yes. Let's just leave it as that. Do you do voiceovers professionally? Yes, I do. And in fact, I actually just finished a job with ASUS for their web ad series in Asia Pacific side. Sometimes I'll pop in for Grab and a couple of other companies that I'm not able to mention the names, unfortunately. But yes, I do. How many years have you done this exactly? Now, I'm gonna be honest, thank you so much. I'm really flattered by the commentary, but I've done this for 11 years and I don't think I'll be stopping anytime soon, even if it's just for fun, you know? You seriously got a Guinness World Record? Yes, believe it. I do have one. It's just in a different name, that's all. How did you start on the whole DJ thing? Do you teach too? Okay, so I had several people asking me about this as well, so I'll just answer both of them at once. Short version, when I was young, 10 or 11 give or take, TV was all I had. I saw people like at DJ Andrew Chow, Kintaro, and that got me curious, went to search up, found out about DMC World Championship. Over the years, because I grew up poor, I wasn't able to afford any equipment or school to learn more about DJing. So I decided to go the route of being self-taught. So 11 years later, here I am. And yes, I teach too. I work with service providers to go around to different public schools, international schools, tertiary education providers to conduct basic DJ, maybe a bit of sound engineering, sometimes music production on Ableton, and there are other times that I work with government agencies to conduct professional workshops for working adults who would like to learn a new skill and things like that. Again, I had several people asking me the same question. In a very simple way to put it, the tremendous amount of support from friends that believed in me since day one, that pushed me to new heights that I never thought was possible before, for which I'm forever grateful for. And of course, my parents were definitely okay with it because I'm the one paying for all the bills at home. It's so expensive. Okay, so for this part, most unfortunately, no, I'm just a nobody on the internet. I'm just me, you know? Would you consider doing a panel at a con about DJing and making mashups? Yes, I definitely did consider before, and I'll be more than happy to conduct a panel workshop for those who are interested, but unfortunately, due to scheduling concerns with my nature of work, I decided not to commit myself to any panels or any cons for the foreseeable future. So as an alternative, however, I do occasionally do one-to-one or group-based coaching sessions with those who are interested, or maybe they just need help with whatever it is that they need. Say, for example, sound engineering problems, or maybe they're mixed down, something's missing, something's problematic, they need help to take a look at, things like that. And for this question, why didn't you give a panel at LIFC? Sad face, I'm very sorry, I wasn't able to make it for LIFC due to scheduling concerns. There was a conflict on that weekend, I had to be somewhere else. But we'll see in the future. Let's say if I could make it, you know? I'll figure something out. This came from Sadoki, how do you do? By the way, if I got your name wrong, please correct me. I am very bad with names. And to answer your question, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for asking. How would your friends describe you? Spastic. Is there anything you did last weekend? I woke up, I washed my face, I did some work, and I went back to bed. It's pretty much work, you know? How old are you? Aha! For me to know, for you to find out. I'll get to that question sometime down the road. In a relationship? Yes, and I'm very sorry for those who do not know before, but I'm actually engaged. Who can you count on? Friends. Definitely the friends around me. Friends who believed in me since day one. Friends who helped me find my confidence again. Friends who picked me up at my worst moments in life. Friends that I hope you have too in your life. And if you haven't had these kind of friends around you yet, it's okay. Take your time, you're gonna find them too. Someday, they'll be there. Everybody is a friend you haven't met. Do you like naps? Yes, I love naps so fucking much that I would take like 5 of them every day, even though I had 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Favorite food? Guacamole, hummus, fried chicken. If you have a recipe that you think is awesome, share it with me. Put it in the comment section below. I really want them. I really want to have some good fucking fried chicken. Oh my god. Tell us something you regret. You know, it's actually a surprise even to me when I'm saying this. I'm still trying to absorb it, but I don't have any regrets anymore. I've done everything I wanted in my life, and I'm very fortunate enough to be able to say that. I like to live life simple, you know? Do you have any tattoos? Are they of furries? Oh god. Yes, I have tattoos, and depending on how you look at it. Let's just leave it as that. Rather talk about yourself or others. I'm all about listening to people's life stories and experiences, what made them who they are. And if I have to talk about myself, well, if the time comes, sure. But if not, usually I'll just leave it to other people to introduce themselves in details. Best color for a car? Black. Metallic black. Shiny ass black. Any kind of black. Or hot pink, I don't know. Would you say that you are an easygoing person? I guess, you know, I don't really have much of an opinion on anything unless it's really needed. Why not you come find out yourself? Does pineapple belong on a pizza? Asking for a friend. This is just my personal take, okay? Please don't hate me. I have nothing against pineapples on pizzas. I just enjoy food. If it tastes good, sure, why not? What's your clothing size? Now, where I come from, we are 2 sizes smaller than the US. So in this case, it would be US large. But in Asia, that'll be XXL in this case, or XL. It's a very weird measurement conversion. I don't know why, but my clothing size in the States would be a large, and in Asia, it would be XL. Do you have a fursuit crush? Unfortunately, no, I don't. What should someone do if they are in love with their best friends? Talk to your best friend. That's the first thing you should do. Best friends shouldn't have anything to hide from each other. It can be a bit nerve-wracking to approach the topic, I get it, but without at least sitting down and talking about this, you never know if it's gonna work out or not. I had cases around me where I have friends that knew each other and they turned into lovers and they got married, and then I had some that just got really awkward, but there's really no way to find out until you try. You know, you gotta make the first step at least. Give it a try, but don't take my word for it. Do your own assessment and figure out if this is the best route for you. You seem really cool and I wish I was your friend. I will find you and I will be your friend. One of your favorite blankcore genres? Happy hardcore. Is there something you would like to have but don't get? Full body trackers. I really, really want them. So bad. Even if it means I'll Godzilla kick half my workstation down because my room is not very big. But yes, I would love to have some fucking full body track. Do you answer DMs? Yes, I do. I saw your video works and you're basically the furry version of Salvatore Ganacci. You're so cool. Thank you, I'm really flattered, thank you. But no, I'm not as cool as Salvatore Ganacci himself. I'm just me, that's it. Are you a calm person? Depends on the situation. Usually I'm calm until something stupid happens. Which band have you known and loved since you were a kid? Now, I grew up listening to music, and I grew up listening to the likes of Rise Against, My Chemical Romance, Yellow Card, Southsin, Hawthorne Heights, Sum 41, Limp Bizkit, Green Day. It's basically, there's so many out there. Like, I just grew up with this kind of music, and those are just some out of the many bands I love so much. Any new habits? Yes, I literally clean my room every single day now, ever since COVID happened. Do you have pets? Yes, I used to have a cat. I was a foster parent for a cat that I rescued from a breeder. Her name is Mimi. Was pregnant with 3 kittens, and I helped them find their forever homes, including the mother, and I kind of miss them. What was your favorite game as a kid? Deus Ex. Who are the funniest people you know? Frankly speaking, there's too many names for me to mention, so I'm just gonna say all the friends around me are funny in their own ways. Do you tend to overthink? No. What's the sexiest and least sexiest name? This is just my personal opinion. Alright, please don't get offended. Please don't cancel me. Please don't beat me up. But I always thought Jerry was the least sexiest, whereas James is the sexiest. For now. For now. Please don't beat me up. Tell me a konek story. Oh my god. Okay, so this happened on New Year's Day. And it was my first time doing a countdown in VR with friends. And it was surreal. It was amazing. And I had a lot of fun. It was really exciting to be able to meet all the friends from all around the world. They're coming over to celebrate your New Year's with you, that kind of thing. So at first, I was just counting down on my area. Then I had a couple of friends from Japan side was just inviting me over and saying that, hey, you know, let's celebrate on our side too. I was like, okay, let's go. So I just went. And one thing led to another, rinse, wash, repeat, 47 hours and then some later on. My dad found me on the toilet seat, butt naked. I was trying to take a shit apparently, but I passed out. He thought I died in there, but apparently not. I was just really tired. I passed out in the toilet. That was what really happened, and I just want to say I had no regrets. And I was incredibly drunk on New Year's Day. Worth it. Is your scrotum stretchy enough to become a blanket? No, no. Why aren't you wearing more thigh highs, damn it? Short answer, here's the story. So you know people wear thigh highs, some look good on them, right? And so I thought it would be a good idea to pick up my fiance's thigh highs and give it a try. I regret everything. So I tried wearing them. And when I looked down, the first thing I thought to myself was, holy shit, I kind of look like the ham that they hang on the deli counter in the supermarket. Like, you know, it's squeezed out with the strings and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm never doing this again. That's why I gave up. Don't ask me why I tried the thigh highs. I don't know too. I question myself on my life decisions sometimes. Daddy, I mean daddy, I mean daddy, I mean Lens, seriously, this is not even a question. You just want to hear me read this damn thing out, didn't you? What the fuck? When you gonna drop your sex dungeon? Holy shit, for fuck's sake, I'm so There's no sex dungeon. There are no sex dungeons for the last fucking time. There's no fucking sex dungeon. How do you do kick and bass? You take a kick drum, you shove your head in it, and then you fart. How do you become #1 Southeast Asia sex dungeon? Oh my god, I'm so... No, there's no fucking sex dungeon. What the fuck? Top or bottom? I mean bunk beds. Bottom. Why are you horny? No, why are you horny? Embarrassing DJ stories, LEGGO. Okay, I have a lot of embarrassing moments in my time of working and learning, and this was my first time using a turntable. That was about 10 years ago, probably give or take when I was 18, 19, around there, and I had my first chance of using a turntable. So I had a friend who was showing me like, hey, this is a turntable, you ever used it before? I said, no, what is it? So I was very curious, I wanted to try it. So she handed me the head shell and she told me to clean it, and the needle, just flip it over, just clean it a bit. So that was my first time looking at a head shell. I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I remembered it was a Shure M447 with N447 cartridge. I was like, oh, I've never seen this before. So how do I clean it? And I said, oh, just rub it off gently. So I saw this little bump on the metal stick that was sticking out. So apparently that I didn't know was the needle, right? So I just cleaned it, and then when I gave it back to her, she put it on the turntable. Nothing was coming out. There was no sound, nothing. And then apparently when she took it off and she flipped it around and she saw, did you just scrape off the needle? And I thought to myself, oh, that bump was a needle, you say? Huh, I didn't know that. That lesson costed me $40. Are you gay? Why are you gay? No, but I'm pansexual. Is your penis small? Now, I don't know what is being defined as small. I don't know what size chart you're using, so no. I guess no. I can never tell you this in real life, but I couldn't. I honestly don't know how to respond to this, but thank you. I'm flattered. What's the appropriate response? Can someone tell me? How should I respond? And that concludes my first ever Ask Me Anything. Thank you to those who took the time to send in your questions, and if you have anything else that you want to ask me, just leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. But be nice, okay? That's all I ask for. Be nice. In the meantime, if you like what you see, be sure to tap on the like, subscribe, and the bell button for me. With all that, stay safe and healthy. Thank you for watching. I'll see you around.